what comes to me in regard to the certainty about life is that it's about experience. I've always had respect for the feeling for a long time. I mean, I could say right back to when I first had my insight in the midst of anger, and for a moment in time, there was this insight that came through that brought a feeling with it. It brought understanding for the first time of another world inside, and it brought with it a feeling, an overwhelming feeling of gratitude, a feeling of there is an answer to life. It's not all dependent on the outside world. And as time has gone on, what has come to me in the last couple of months is the power of experience that started with more recognition of the experience Sid had, that opened the door not only for him to realize these three principles, but it opened the door for the world to realize the power of experience, that the difference between experience, a feeling of our true essence, and explanation. And explanation comes from the intellect, and that also can be powerful. You know, that can attract your intellect and have you contemplate life in a way that you didn't before. But the simplicity and the certainty comes from experience. That when you are living in the experience of our true essence, that's the certainty. You know you're at home. And it just automatically, naturally brings certainty to your life. It captivates those you're in contact with. That they, without teaching, without explanation, their true essence comes to life, and they start to share experience with themselves, with their true selves, and then with others, without teaching. And I just love that. I just love that. There's such simplicity, there's such being in the moment where each and every moment is whole and complete, so that you don't have to hang on to anything. Like my moments of enjoyment of life used to be so rare that I would hang on to them because of their rarity. It's like, oh man, I was so happy there for half an hour. You know, what's that about? And then I try to remember, like, what was I thinking? What was I doing when I had that half hour of happiness? Maybe it was going to get the cows, you know, as a child, and I didn't know what that was. But inside of me, I recognized a feeling of being at peace, you know, being at one with nature and so on, but I didn't know what it was. And then with this understanding, I began to understand what that was, that experience of that deep feeling is our true nature expressing itself. And it means that we're living at home. It is. It's the profound and the practical. And it's also evolution. In the early days when I was just starting to embrace that feeling when it occurred, I also went in and out of it and didn't trust it. You know, it would be like I got to hang on to that. What did I do? How can I hang on to it? How can I regain it? And of course, all those questions took me further outside into the world of doing instead of being. And that's where this natural process of evolution comes into play, where the more you live in that feeling, the more you begin to trust it. And as a matter of fact, it happens so naturally and so gently that it's after the fact that you sort of turn around and look at what happened. Or somebody will say, as they did to me yesterday during a mentoring call, where the feeling got deeper and deeper and simpler to the point where there were no words anymore. It wasn't planned. It was this unfolding. It was the evolution of our conversation from communicating via words, communicating via listening to the other soul, and then communicating in silence by this feeling and this profound connection that occurred where we both welled up and our eyes filled. And we just were together in that feeling. And after just a period of that rich knowing, that rich certainty that we're connected, he said to me, do you realize the power of this? Like, do you realize how this feeling that comes from you, the power of that, as if it was me? And I hasten to say, that's us. You know, that's essence. And the fact that you're feeling it means you're right there, you know, and you're contributing and we're in this together. So it is an unfolding that brings trust with it, that the more you're in that space, the more you realize this is who I am on the inside.